So in this chapter, we specifically focus on supply demand and how prices were decided. So to give you a short introduction, I want to mention about the gasoline price because if you commute, you will see how important the gasoline price affect you every day. So the opening the illustration of the wide swing in gasoline price during 2008. In early 2008, the price of gasoline was $2.99 per gallon and then went to $4.05 in July. And it was back down below $2 by nearly 2009. So it seemed like there is some roller coaster going on in the gasoline market. So what's the reason behind it? So how do market decide what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce? Specifically, what determine the price of the goods and services? So why sometimes they go up and why sometimes they go down? So what is the reason behind it? And how does the price of the product affect its production and consumption? So when the price goes up, how will that affect the consumption and production? When price goes down, how will that affect production and consumption? And also, why do price and the production level often change? So they seldom stabilized like a constant. They usually move up and down, just like our heartbeat seems like that's a healthy pattern, right? So before we look at those details, and first of all, I have to explain our market participants. So every market have different type of the participant. So our first job is trying to see what are our market participants. So they are actually characterizing our market, and also what is their goals. So what they try to maximize. So the maximizing behavior will involving consumer, business, government. So those players are the key participants, and we have to know what they are trying to maximize. So think about yourself. When you go to the Walmart, buy milk, buy bread, like girls buy beautiful clothes. So what are you trying to satisfy? Are you trying to maximize your less hungerness? Or what are you exactly trying to satisfy? Try to maximize. Yes, if you're a consumer, you're trying to maximize your utility. It's in the economic world we call utility. In the real world we call it satisfaction. Or you consume food, you feel satisfied, you buy beautiful clothes, you try to satisfy. So being a consumer, they always try to maximize the utility they can get from their available incomes. So when consumer buy product, you have to know they have one constraint, that is how much money they have. So think about in the Walmart. So you're the consumer. So who are interacting with you? Yes, the employer from the Walmart. So they are representing the business. So then what is the goal for the businesses? So obviously, you know, it's profit. So business try to maximize the profits by selling goods that are satisfied while keeping the cost low. So their goal always try to maximize the profit. If they get a chance, they will try to lower their cost. Because the bigger difference between the price and the cost, the more profit they will earn. And so besides that, what is another participant? Consumer, business. So they all need to comply to the laws. And law is set up by the government. So government also have his goals. So they try to maximize the general welfare of society, which means they are like a good parents. They are not biased towards the consumer or biased towards the businesses. They try to well evaluate the situation so that both can maximize their goals. Unfortunately, not all the time they can achieve what they want, but at least in this from the whole society's point of view, they are maximized. So the basic goals of the utility maximization, profit maximization, and welfare maximization explain most market activity. In other words, the decision made by consumer businesses and the government, they all try to fulfill their objective, maximizing something. So maximizing something. And so after we discussing the four participants, and next we're gonna look at for the four participants, they were having interaction. So we call it specialization and exchange. So if you look at your whole body, the clothes, shoes, and figure out where they made it from. I give you a few seconds. Yes, you will find seldomly they made in American. Most of the time they are all imported from another country. So why? Yes, that's what we're going to look at. Specialization and exchange. So the condition for exchange is each country will specialize in producing something. So the notion that buying and selling goods and services in the market might maximize our well-being originated in two simple observations. Most of us are incapable of producing everything we desire to consume. Even if we could produce all of us goods and service, it would still make sense to specialize. So economic interaction with others are necessitated by two constraints. The first one is inability as individual to produce all of the goods we need and desire in a limited amount of time, energy, and resource proposed by the producing times things we should make for ourselves. So in the international trade, allow a country to consume more products and services than they could without trade. So in our university, we do offer international business. So in that international economics, and in that economic class, you will learn more about why we have international trade. So what's the benefit and the disadvantage for a country. So in our next video, we will look at our second economic model called the circular flow. So the circular flow help each participant to be connected. And in that chapter, we also will discussing about different markets.